What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Bucco Territory, presented to you by the Foul Territory Network. I am your host, Noah Hiles, and joining me, as always, are my two co-hosts, Platinum Key, a.k.a. Mark, and Jay Hay, a.k.a. Josh Harrison. And as you can see, we have another face on the screen, the first ever teenager on Foul Territory, on Bucco Territory. Also the first ever top prospect to join the show. Konnor Griffin joins us. Konnor, welcome to the show, man. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. I'm excited just to talk some baseball and just have some fun.
Awesome. All right, so we've got a lot of questions. I've interviewed you before. You and Josh are going to talk some great baseball here. But, I mean, first things first, we got a diehard Pirates fan on the show, Platinum Key. And I know he's chomping at the bit to ask you a million questions. So we'll let him start it off. Mark, what do you got for the top prospect in baseball?
Yeah, Konnor, thank you so much for hopping on. My first question, I was doing some research into your early high school days. Multi-sport athlete, I saw like alley-oops. I saw a couple football highlights, and I just wanted to pull one up really quick and have you watch it with us here. You may be familiar with this, but apparently Randy Moss thinks you're a pretty good football player as well. This is your freshman year, I believe.
Yep.
And
Yeah, that's
if you could just walk us through it, what was it like having Randy Moss talk about you on ESPN as a freshman in high school?
yeah, that was crazy. I love football. I love playing receiver. Just kind of throw it up to me, let me try to go catch it. That was some fun times, and I remember that game catching that pass was pretty cool. But I didn't think it'd end up on ESPN.
Yeah.
Randy Moss talking about it, so that was pretty cool. But I give a lot of credit to playing multiple sports when I was younger. I think it kind of built the athlete that I am, and I still try to run routes in the all
Love it.
season, just keeping the athleticism. So
Yeah,
football's
may
big
have to
for me.
go catch some passes for Paul Skeens when he's warming up once you're up in Pittsburgh. Uh,
That's right.
um, Another question I had, I saw you were in Pittsburgh this winter. You got to go to a Pens game, and I just wanted to have you talk about what your experience was like in the city another time around here.
Yeah, that was an awesome experience. I got to go watch the Penguins practice. Got to enjoy hanging with Sidney Crosby, the legend, and just kind of picking his brain. I mean, he's been there for so many years. Kind of picking his brain on how he loves Pittsburgh and the ins and outs of things. And so it was a really cool experience, and I'm glad I got to be a part of that for a few days and got to watch a game, sit up in the suite, and just enjoy
Oh yeah,
uh, hockey game. So that was an awesome experience.
excellent. And one other question I had, I hear the Tootsie Roll at Osaka is pretty good in Jackson. If anyone's
Right.
traveling to Jackson, do you have any other recommendations of things to do?
Um, I'm big on restaurants. I love good restaurants. One of my favorite. If you come to Mississippi, you gotta taste some barbecue and go into Hickory Pit in Jackson. That's gonna be a place you don't want to miss. So that's one of my favorites.
Love it. All right, I'm going to turn it back over here to Noah.
Yeah, Konnor, obviously, I mean, I've reported on you a lot over this past year, so I've learned a little bit about you here. But something I've always been curious about is, I mean, I got to see where you train at Grit Training, an awesome facility. I think I told you, is like, I wish I had something like that close to me growing up when I was in high school. But I think something that stands out about you is obviously your size, right? You have the height, but I mean, you look like an NFL tight end. When did you start focusing on weight training during your development? Obviously, you put a lot into the hitting and the fundamentals, but when did you really start taking your physique seriously and what you put into your body and how you develop it?
Yeah, I think it really started when I was a junior in high school. I mean, I kind of started late on the weight training and focusing on what I'm eating, trying to gain weight, which I don't think it was a bad thing because leading up to that, I was playing so many sports. I really didn't have time to get in the gym. Like I was just playing, practicing, whatever. But as I started to focus more on baseball, I really took that serious, and I have a great place to train, like you said, at Grit. It's just an amazing place. I got every opportunity to grow as a player in the weight room. or on the baseball training side. So I take it pretty serious now. I'm trying to fill out a little bit, but also keep my speed. And like you said, the grit gives me every opportunity to do that. So I'm thankful to have a great place like that.
You obviously, I mean, at Grit, you have Josh who worked with you for hitting. I mean, you had a whole bunch of different people who work on your game. Did you have professionals that worked on your nutrition as well when you were in high school?
I didn't. I've never had a
Yeah.
nutritionist or just kind of learn on my own, figure it out on my own, know what's good to eat, and it's hard to go wrong with some grilled chicken and rice. So that was pretty easy to figure out, and just kind of stuck with that.
Awesome. And another guy who trains at Grit is a new Pirate, Jake Mangum. What was your reaction to the Buccos acquiring him? We see the tweet right there, the let's go with the Jolly Roger emoji. You guys, your time didn't overlap at Jackson Prep, obviously, but you've talked about how much it means to you to represent, your small town and just the
Yeah.
state of Mississippi. And now getting to do that potentially with a guy who's from your area, who you train with in the offseason. How excited are you to play with Jake Mangum in the big leagues?
Yeah, I'm super excited. That it's kind of crazy how it all works out, ending up on the same team. But I mean, we're training at the same place every single day. He's kind of helping me, get ready for spring training. I've been picking his brain, just try to get some experience from him. I mean, he's played for so many years and had so much success. Like I just want to be a sponge when I'm around. But it's super cool to have two Mississippi guys be on the Pirates now, and hopefully I can play with them as soon as possible, and let's try to go win some championships, just like we did at Jackson Prep when we were both going through there.
Awesome. I got one final question for you, then I'm going to turn it over to the guy who maybe you'll have some questions for, Josh Harrison. So this past year has obviously been a whirlwind for you, right? I mean, you start in low A, you got a little taste of big league camp, and then you end in double A as the number one prospect in baseball. And as someone who's covered the sport, obviously you're familiar with the top prospects, and you've had your share of attention in your name and your spaces, right? When like the prep baseball, you've always been high on those lists. But you're becoming a very big name in the baseball world and you're not even in AAA yet. What's it been like to see kind of the celebrity element of your life take off this early on? I'm sure that was something you probably didn't anticipate.
Yeah, definitely something I didn't anticipate because I came into my first year just I wasn't ranked on the prospects list very high, and I was just I know I needed a lot to work on, and I went to work every single day just facing challenges and just trying to grow as a player, and then worked my way to Double A. I'm thankful for the Pirates for allowing me to move when they thought I was ready to go. So I was able to face new challenges at different levels, and it all just kind of helped me grow as a player. But it's been crazy just the amount of media stuff that comes with
Yeah.
moving up on the prospects list, and it's all fun and games. But I got to continue to work. I got a lot of success. I'm chasing after in front of me. Winning championships, making my debut, just different things like that. I gotta focus on, and I'm just trying to take it one day and try not to let the outside noise kind of get in my head too much. But just continue to be who I am and be humble, keep working, and just trust God that it'll all work out for me.
I got one last question here for you. I asked Paul his rookie year who was the most famous person that contacted him. He told me it was Shaq. I don't know if you're going to beat Shaq yet because you're not a big leaguer. But
All right.
who's the biggest celebrity or famous person that you've gotten to meet since your professional career started?
Hmm. I don't know. That's crazy. I have been in a group chat talking with Mike Trout, so it's hard not to say Mike Trout.
Yeah,
Um,
that's a pretty good one.
That's awesome.
yeah, so that was pretty cool. He's big into cards, and we were kind of talking about making a double card where I sign it and he signs it, so that could be pretty cool.
Wow, that would
Someone
be
will
awesome.
retire off of that card. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, you're going to pay for about 8 college educations with that card. So thank you in advance. We're going to take a quick break to hear from our sponsors. When we get back, Josh Harrison going to talk to the game's top prospect, Konnor Griffin.
Hey, make good eats at home part of your 2026 New Year's resolution. Hello Fresh is what we're talking about here.
Steak, seafood, whatever options you want. They have stone fruit to corn on the cob. Scott, I know you're a big stone fruit fan, but
Hey, you've eaten it all.
I have. I've tried a lot of things, but HelloFresh always delivers. They're fresh, delicious meals that you get to cook. So you feel like you actually accomplished something when you eat them after you're done cooking them.
Over 100 mouth-watering recipes each week. It's made with wholesome ingredients like 100% antibiotic and hormone-free chicken, because when dinner tastes this good, nothing hits like home cooking. Go to hellofresh.com/FT10FM to get 10 free meals plus a free Zwilling knife, a $144.99 value on your third box. Offer valid while supplies last. Free meals applied as discount on first box. New subscribers only, varies by plan. Get America's #1 meal kit, HelloFresh.
All right, we're handing it over to the ball players now. Josh, you have the floor.
All right. What's going on, Konnor?
What's going on, man? Thanks for taking the time to talk a little bit.
Oh no, man. Appreciate you being on Bucco territory. I'm gonna start off, man. I've learned a lot about you just in this brief little interview session here with Noah and Mark. But one of my first questions I want to ask is, man, you're 19, right?
Yeah, 19.
Man, I can remember being 19, man. It was my sophomore year of college. So I'm looking at, you being 19, already hitting a professional level, being in double A. And as you said, a lot of these things happen fast, as you said, some of the celebrity status. What do you feel has been your biggest adjustment right now, being 19 and having touched double A? Because as I said, I was 19, I was a sophomore year in college, I was still taking classes. So like my adjustment was just making an adjustment from freshman to sophomore year. You
Yeah, for
have
sure.
made an adjustment from coming from high school to going, you know what I'm saying? So what do you feel has
Yeah.
been the biggest adjustment? Has it been on the field? Has it been off the field?
It's really been away from the field. Going from high school straight to pro ball, you get sent off pretty quick and you got to learn a few things on your own pretty fast. So moving low A, high, double A, I was moving around a lot and having to move apartments, and I think just that I kind of grew as a person a lot. Like I really learned more about myself, how to take care of myself, and just learned some responsibility. And I think that ultimately helps me at the field, just because it's more serious now. It's kind of my job, what I do for a living, and got to keep playing well. Got to keep playing well to keep living well. So you just got to continue that work and just enjoy the process. But I think it helped me grow a lot, just kind of figuring out how to live on my own.
Yeah, no, I can definitely attest to that. Because after I got drafted, I got sent out to Boise, and I'm the youngest of three, so I got two older brothers. And even all the way through my major league career, my first calls after the game, were to my parents, and that was going to lead to my next question: is um, how long has your dad been like a college softball coach? First, how long has he been a college softball coach?
He's been college softball coach for 20 plus years. He's done it a while.
Okay, so that was going to lead to my next question. Family being very close to me. My oldest brother has been, he played pro ball. He's been coaching through the minor leagues at various ranks, all the way up to AAA. My middle brother played baseball in junior college, but also got an uncle that played Major League Baseball for 11 years and coached for 40. And having those guys play ahead of me and having those experience, do you feel like your dad being a college coach helped you make some of these adjustments, not only from high school to pro, but just your whole life? It's kind
Yeah.
of a outlet that most people don't have.
Yeah, for sure. It was super big having him by my side through the college recruitment process. I mean, he knew the ins and outs, how to go about things, and having him for that was really big. And our big thing was we're not going to commit at a young age, like eighth and ninth grade. We're gonna ride it out. We're gonna take our official visits and just really make sure we're going to the right place and take our time with it. That was huge for me. And I come from a family. I haven't had many family members, play at the Division I level or play pro ball. So I'm kind of writing my own story. I got my dad by my side. He's there training with me every day. So we're kind of trying to start something new here and write our own path, which is pretty cool. So hopefully it ends up being a pretty cool story. But I'm thankful to have them by my side every day.
Oh no, man, that's a pretty cool story, man. Because I'm a firm advocate for keeping your family close by, and that's something that I saw, even through your tweets and just hearing you speak. So that's something that kind of jumped out to me because I think that also leads to success on the field. When you can have that peace to know that your loved ones are, supporting you and you get a chance to see them. That's why I wanted to ask that question. And
Sure.
outside of that, I know you've been to Pittsburgh a couple times, and just speaking from playing there, it's a city that loves, people that play hard, play with passion, and just watching some of your highlights. I've watched you. It's very rare to watch someone one your size play, shortstop and hit the way that you do, but also um, but now that I've seen the highlight of you mossing somebody, what is something that you think is your part of your game that might be overlooked per se?
Yeah.
If I may ask.
Um, I I don't know. Defense. Everybody was like questionable on whether I could play short. Because I've always been an outfielder, just kind of go get it, be an athlete. I don't know if a lot of people thought I could handle playing the infield, knowing where to be a leader, but also have the right footwork and fundamentals to actually handle the position. And um, to be honest, I didn't really know if I could do it either until uh, got out there every day at spring training. They just kept throwing me in the fire, and I just learned from experience. And my main thing is just be an athlete. Go use those skills that I've built playing other sports and that I've been building my whole life just to be an athlete and go trust those skills and it'll all work out. Just make the plays, make the consistent plays, the routine plays, and then you'll be just fine. So it's been pretty cool to see my defense uh, grow like it has, and I still feel like there's a lot of room to continue to grow. Just got to keep working.
No, that's good to hear. You definitely hit it on the nail on the head. Playing multiple sports. I grew up playing football, basketball, and baseball, and I definitely feel that playing football and basketball helped me, in moments on the field. Not just randomly, like pretty much every day. The way that I approach balls, the way that I moved, making reads. So hearing you say that was very encouraging because you sound like a student of the game, and it's something that I would just want to encourage you to continue to do. There was one thing that I didn't hear you mention, but I know you're doing. Make sure that you're always having fun.
Yeah,
That
for
that
sure.
that 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 is the one thing that I want you to make sure you're always having fun. But man, I'm excited for what's to come for your future. I'm excited for you to be in Pittsburgh whenever that is. I don't know if my co-hosts have any questions, but do you have any questions for me or us? Just excited to have you on the show, man.
Yeah, I'm hopefully one day we can get together, kind of hang out in person. I like to be around, good athletes and guys that had great success at the highest level. So, if you were in my position, kind of going into spring training, got a lot on my mind. There's some there's so many like rumors about opening day roster, when I'm going to get called up. What's a little piece of advice you got for me just to kind of go into spring training, kind of focused on, just taking it one day at a time? Like, what's the best way to go about that? Just with so much noise going on the outside right now.
That's a really good question. And my answer to you is be true to yourself. And granted, you're only 19 years old. You're still learning. No matter how old you are, you're gonna still be learning. But for 3 years after making my debut, I was fighting for the 25th man spot. And what did I have to do every spring? I had to stay true to who I was, showing up and being who I was. Not that I was gonna be any different, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I just had to prove myself right. And even if proving myself right meant I had to go to AAA, that didn't mean that the door was closed. It just meant that the timing wasn't right. Um, but needless to say, I made the team every year out of camp. But
Yeah.
that's just one of those things where there's always going to be pressure, whether you're playing well, whether you're not. Stay
Hmm.
true to yourself and enjoy the process, man. Pick the brains of those that are there, that are there to help you. And we will meet in person. I'm gonna speak it I'm gonna speak it into fruition. You said hopefully we will make it happen.
Yes, sir. Let's do it. Maybe you can teach me how to get out some rundowns.
Hey, trust me, you're already halfway there playing multiple sports.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, that, as someone who has done a lot of interviews, I mean, that was just fun to sit back and watch. That was awesome. I was hoping you would bring up the rundown thing, Konnor.
Yeah.
I mean, that seemed like the obvious thing. So, but that was great. Want to remind everyone before we wrap up to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We just hit our goal, over 1,000 subs. Now our new goal, 3,000. Wow.
Let's go.
All right, that's what we're
Let's
going
go.
for.
Let's
get
Sure,
on
we'll be
it.
picking up a few new subscribers after this guest here. Konnor, you want to tell the people to subscribe?
Yeah, go ahead and subscribe and give the guys some love.
Awesome.
go.
Well,
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for coming on, Konnor. Thank you to everyone who tuned in. Be sure to follow us on all of our social media platforms and stay tuned in for more episodes here on Bucco Territory presented by the Foul Territory Network.